Alrighty, Rudy, let's get busy and talk about some pro wrestling. It's your boy, Homer Q, joined as always by Trevor. What's up, Trevor?
What's going on, brother?
How you doing, my good friend? My good brother. Good brothers.
I'm I am okay. I haven't had time to change things
Diapers?
on Twitter, but I'm here.
Diapers? I was so convinced you were gonna say diapers. Welcome
I should have said
everyone. Welcome
diapers.
everyone. Welcome Surf Wrestling, who's busy in the chat, says Omer, you need to change. You need to rename that WWE and AEW Super Show. Ain't none of that happening. Surf Wrestling also said that's not happening until Vince is out of CEO and creative and other things. Well, we'll talk about why that
Think
might
other
be
stuff.
closer. Might be closer than some people think. Surf Wrestling also says we have Kofi Kingston talking about Forbidden Door when he knows none of that is happening until Vince is completely out of WWE. Look, you're not wrong, but
You're not
we're
wrong,
we're
but
as
that might be
close
closer than you think.
one way or another. Look, one way or another, Vince McMahon is going to leave WWE. It's either going to be in handcuffs or in a casket, but it's going to happen someday. And that's just the God's honest truth. He's like a 75-year-old man who, hey, man, I'm not wishing. No, I'll be honest. No, I don't. We'll talk about it. MGT says, what's up, you guys? What's up, MGT? Always good to see you. Always good to see Surf Wrestling, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, as always. We have a lot to talk about today, Trevor. We
We
had
do.
the blockbuster Vince McMahon story that is just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And we also
Sweeping.
have AEW Fighter Fest. And on top of that, Tony Khan commenting on a potential AEW WWE Super Show. You and I are going to talk about that, maybe do a little fancy booking and see where our heads are at as far as that would go and
That's
what we could
cool.
possibly see. But we got so much to talk about. Put your questions in the chat. We'll get to those as well. Trevor, I
Yes,
believe we
sir.
have some business to take care of, though, before we get to any of this news.
We always do. Beginning of the show, we always have this, I guess, icebreakers, if you will. Yours was last week. I guess this one is mine. Um, being so that, like you've told me plenty of times, that you've gotten to wrestling, but you got into wrestling relatively late. You missed some things. With that
It was
knowledge,
early on in my life. It was early on in my life, sir. It was late in yours, but
yes,
early
in
on in
your life,
mine. The hell
early
is...
on in your life, but there were things that you missed. So, with that being said,
Yeah, because I was 2.
will you get to my point? My point is, it's same with me. There are some moments in wrestling that I missed
Yeah,
that
you
I
missed
kind
some
of
shit
wish I
too. Yeah, don't come at
was kind of
me.
back.
Oh, you little
Sure.
noob. You just got into wrestling recently. I bet you don't even know that Bray Wyatt was Husky Harris.
Like, well, what is this? What
There
the
was
hell
a
is he...
point to this,
I
but
completely ruined it. You're welcome.
the point was, it is, since there are things that we both missed, is there a moment, looking back on different wrestling history, is there a moment that you wish that you would have saw live?
Bruno losing the title to Ivan Koloff in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that's a good one.
it it's one of those things. Like, it happened in an era where you literally had to be there to see it. You if you weren't there, you weren't going to see it. You weren't going to feel the atmosphere. Now today we got the HD cameras, you got
Of
all
course,
the
right.
lighting. You can get a sense of it. Like when Taker, for example, when
Mhm.
Taker lost to Lesnar at WrestleMania, like we got a sense of what the energy in the stadium was like. It was obviously it was insane. Like, it was people literally stunned silent. But that is like Bruno losing the title. I think obviously it happened in a completely different era of pro wrestling. That it's
Of
hard
course.
for us to judge, right? It's hard for us to judge, but it's one of those moments, like Taker losing at Mania. It's one of those moments that it's, if you were there and if you witnessed it live, it is one of those things you will never forget. This man held the title, the WWF title at that time, for
Mhm.
nearly 3,000 days.
Yep.
So
For those of you who don't
it,
know,
it was, and I'm Koloff was like he wasn't really he was built up to be a heel, but he was kind of an afterthought as far as whether or not he would win the title going into the fight. So
Right.
I mean, like, to me, I'm like, that's a moment, because I wasn't in the stadium obviously for WrestleMania 30, but I would want to feel what that felt like in 1971 when Bruno lost the title, because I didn't get to even like really see what it was like, like there's like the grainy footage, but like you don't get a sense of the fans and the energy and just what that moment really meant. You don't get that sense from what we have, and that's one of those moments like I would very much like to go back in a time machine and witness. Another moment would be, again, this is just my inner wrestling nerdiness. I believe it was December 1931, the original Montreal Screwjob, Andre DeGlon versus Ed Strangler Lewis in Montreal. I mean, yep, I did a video on it for Sports Revisited, folks. Go check that out. But it is, but like that's also like, I mean, again, nerdy wrestling wannabe historian here. It's one of those moments where, like, we don't really gauge like how much it means now, but back then it was just insane. It was huge. It was huge. So those are like my two. I mean, again, it depends on the era. Honestly, if you ask me, if you ask me about this era, I would probably like say, one show that I do regret missing out on and that I should have gone to was CM Punk returning at the United Center in Chicago. I should have gone to that show when I look back, and I'm kicking myself every day that I didn't, because that was that energy. That's the type of show you'll never feel that type of energy again. Like you'll feel, it's like it's to that specific show, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Those are good picks. Those are definitely good picks.
Yeah.
I think.
What about you?
One for me in particular, just because my grandfather used to talk about him, a lot of my family used to talk about him, and it's not even really just plain match. It's one match in particular. It was the very first one in this series, but Abdullah the Butcher versus Bruiser Brody. I would have loved to see that one live. The original, the very first one. I would have loved to see those guys live. I would have loved to see Bruiser Brody wrestle, period. Like, I never got a chance to see him, and I've heard all these stories. I watched the Dark Side of the Ring. I've heard all these stories from my grandparents about Abdullah. I mean, about Bruiser Brody, and like he was just larger than life, right? He was just a larger than life personality before that was big in wrestling, right? Like he was just this big guy. Oh, this is me. I'm gonna beat you up. Like what you see on TV is what you get. You know what I mean? Like that was him. And so, like, to look back and see stuff like that, I would have loved to see that live. And the chemistry him and Abdullah had. I mean, the reason Abdullah has a lot of those scars are because of Bruiser. But yeah, that'd be a good one. And another one for me would be the Big Leap. Superfly Jimmy Snuka off of the cage in Madison Square Garden.
I'm so sorry. When you said Big Leap, the first image of my head was the Shockmaster like leaping through the wall.
I thought that's what you. I thought that's what you were talking about.
I was just like the Big Leap. That's, if WWE is smart, that is what you rebrand the Shockmaster's moment. The Big Leap. Please make it happen, WWE. Continue.
But yeah, that those are two, honestly. Two, because I remember reading Mick Foley's book, his very first book. And he said that was the moment that he realized he wanted to be a wrestler, when he was in Madison Square Garden and he watched, and I forget now who he was wrestling, but I know it was Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and he was on the side of the steel cage, and he jumped off. He did the Superfly splash off onto this guy, and it was like I still see it in my head, like as I talk about it. It was a great one.
You can guess this. I know you know who it is.
It's not Bruno Sammartino, was it?
No, Don Morocco.
Don Morocco.
Superfly,
Okay.
Jimmy go to the Rock's promo from WrestleMania 20.
That's
Superfly,
right.
Jimmy Snuka, Don
Snuka.
Morocco. They know it. They know it. Look at that. Look at that. They got the hamburger and grab. Hey, put the hamburger away. Try the chicken McNuggets, you fat son of a gun.
I remember that. I do
Amazing
remember
promo
that.
by The Rock.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there's a million moments in pro wrestling history that we'd want to go back and be a part of and witness and oh, well, there we go.
Oh.
And just be again, be a part of that history. But I mean, you could choose
one
a
in
million.
particular that me and you both were part of, and that was
Dynamite
AEW,
1,
right?
baby.
Dynamite
Dynamite 1. We could always say, hey, boom, the hot dog.
Boom,
We witnessed the hot dog. We witnessed the hot dog.
Did I tell you I knew who threw that?
Oh my! Save it for story time with Trevor.
Oh yeah,
baby.
yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Save it for story time. That's gonna be it's gonna be eventually whenever you decide to start your own venture, and you need to save those stories. So let me tell you a story about the time Eddie Kingston tried to murder me.
I still would love to talk to him about that.
I love how, dude. Anyone who's Eddie King. By the way, guys, Eddie Kingston, he is everyone's enemy except for John Moxley. Man has no most beloved guy in AEW right now is hated by everyone. It's so crazy. But yeah. So. There you go. Hey, great icebreaker today, Trev. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Surf Wrestling and MGT are blowing up the chat right now.
We got a lot to say.
MGT asking, what are you guys even talking about? MGT, we literally did the icebreaker. Literally explained what this was. It was go take yourself back in time to any moment in pro wrestling history and that you wish you could witness. So that's what we were talking about just now. Surf Wrestling says, Omar, can we talk about how Kushida debuted, I should say, in Impact Wrestling? Yeah, he did in fact debut at an Impact Wrestling taping. I can't wait to watch it on YouTube because I'm not going to watch it live. That's for damn sure because I don't got access. MGT in the chat says, hey, do you guys really think WWE will work with other companies whether or not Vince is there? Haha. Well, we'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get to that. Surf Wrestling says, with Vince there right now, heck no. Null. Not no. Null.
No.
Null. La 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 la. Surf Wrestling says, when Vince is officially gone, yes. More or less, yeah. Surf Wrestling says, Omar, we got to talk about Naomi hinting indie shows soon. And with the tweet from Lindsay Dorado, former Lucha Bros with Kalisto. I've not seen a Lindsay Dorado tweet, but oh boy, I have seen the Naomi thing. What do you make of that? Because I don't think we had a chance to talk about that. What do you make of the Sasha Banks and Naomi, by the way, officially off the WWE roster? Internally, I should say, so they've been taken off, and there's no indication or no report, I should say, that Naomi has been released, but it looks like she might have been either quietly released or just WWE's taken her off the internal roster, saying don't use her because she's no longer in the fold, I should say. We know Sasha Banks has taken those outside bookings. What do you kind of make of Naomi, who's kind of gone to Instagram a little bit, teasing her about her reasons as to why she quote unquote walked out and why this is transpired and where she stands right now?
It's to me it's a form of marketing, honestly. Yeah. And in a way, it's a form of marketing, and it's very intelligent. It's absolutely intelligent.
It's Tuesday. You know what that means.
There you go. It makes sense, right? Like, most bookers know if they're gonna book Naomi, they know what they got. They're gonna have someone with a killer personality, great charisma, great in the ring, great athletic ability. But why not market yourself even more? Just and make some money on the side. Like, Naomi has never been shy of doing other stuff in the background. Like, she danced in music videos before. Like, she's a She's a dancer. She's done other dance things. You know, she's smart. She's making her money. So I don't think anything of it, honestly. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's actually pretty smart.
Can I tell you how I honestly feel about this?
But you think it's cap at this point?
Trinity Fatu, much better name than Naomi. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
It
going to
is.
say. Trinity,
It is.
a lot better name than Naomi. I mean, Naomi's a great name too, but I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know. I always thought it was weird because like Trinity does have like a very good name. Like that's a very good name for a wrestler. It's very
Trinity is a good name. I've never heard of a female Trinity though. That has wrestled. Like
no, well, that's one of the reasons. Like, you know, it's like Trinity, but you know, WWE is like, we don't own your name. I'm gonna own your. You're Naomi now. Look at you, Naomi. Yeah, who are you? Austin Theory. Hell you are. You're Theory now.
It's just ridiculous. All of it.
And
upset.
Eli Drake. What the hell is an Eli Drake? You know what you are now. You're LA Knight. You're LA Knight.
I don't know what in the world it is now.
Scratch that. Max Dupree. The younger brother of Renee. I wish that was canon. I really wish. I wish that as a one-off, they bring out Renee Dupree. Look at me. Wait, that was Rob Conway. Never mind. Remember Rob Conway?
Yes,
when they split up La Resistance. Like, I love
about Rob Conway.
The individual runs of all members of La Resistance were all crap back in the day. But like, again, be crap now so you can be great in 10 years. Look at some of those pro. Like they had Rob Conway coming out to his music. Just look at me, ain't I safe to see?
Was the French Tickler part of them too?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about there, my friend. What?
No, what was there a move called the French Tickler or a wrestler called the French Tickler?
There was definitely not a wrestler called the French. No,
it was a move.
It probably was a move. Although WWE would do that, something like that. I mean, yeah, but Rob got.
I've heard worse names.
Renee Dupree. Sylvain Grenier. Okay.
Somewhere I shouldn't have went.
Yeah, where did that go? Surf Wrestling in the chat says Trinity, Fatu, Sierra Knight, and Mercedes best names on the indies. They will be for sure. MGT says Naomi's a great name for a wrestler. Didn't say it wasn't. I said it was. But it's also, I think, not as good a name as Trinity.
I do like Trinity.
Yeah, Surf Wrestling says Eddie Kingston is underrated as F. That man has been has had some of the best matches against Moxley and Takeshita, and or against Takeshita and Moxley will again this Wednesday. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, he's great. So much better than those indie jobbers that Trevor likes.
By the way, it was Renee Dupree that did the French Tickler dance, the little dance he did, and he jumped back and forth.
You want to give us a little demonstration of that dance, sir?
No, I really don't.
You want to share? You want to share what you're talking about with the class, sir?
It's no.
Fair enough. We don't want you.
It's kind of like this.
Oh dear.
It's so dumb. It's so bad.
Where did that go? Where did that happen? Anyway, guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We got a good amount to talk about today. First, let's talk about some. I don't even know how to explain this, Trevor. This is pretty bad news, pretty crappy news. I mean,
it's not great news.
It is. No, I mean, let's regroup. It is actually like horrifying news. Oddly, though, it's not shocking at all, given the person.
That's what makes it even worse.
Yep, given the person involved and their history. I'm sorry. I'm actually just like pulling up some of the the graphic for this, so bear with me as I do that. But yeah, this was when this news broke, or when this piece broke, I was like, yep, I fully expected that. And unfortunately, like, it's one of those situations where you really hope you were wrong. Anyway, let's get to it. I've sidetracked this enough. We have more news on the Vince McMahon front this week. The Wall Street Journal reported that this week the Wall Street Journal reported that in addition to the suit that was already out there, the money that was already paid to I'm sorry, I'm getting flustered. It is a difficult thing to talk about in one go. I'm gonna read the aggregate report, and then Trevor, we can talk about it because I don't want to mess up anything. But so here's the aggregate report. In the latest revelation from the Wall Street Journal, it has been reported that Vince McMahon has agreed to pay more than $12 million in hush money over the past 16 years to, quote, suppress allegations of sexual misconduct and infidelity, unquote. The money was paid to 4 women who each signed a non-disclosure agreement that prevented them from speaking about their relationships with McMahon and from talking about any potential legal claims against the 76-year-old McMahon. One of these agreements totaled in $7.5 million with a former talent who claimed McMahon, quote, coerced her into giving him oral sex, unquote. The unnamed talent was then demoted before McMahon decided not to renew her contract in 2005 after she refused further sexual advances. The former talent then approached McMahon in 2018, and a settlement was reached. In another agreement, a, quote, WWE contractor, unquote, presented unsolicited photos of McMahon that she claimed to have received from him. She also alleged that McMahon sexually harassed her and got paid roughly $1 million in settlement upon that was agreed upon in 2008. Furthermore, one former manager, I should say, alleged that McMahon initiated a relationship with her in 2006. So this is in addition to the $3 million hush money paid to the former employee, the paralegal, who had a relationship with McMahon, and then who, in the report from the Wall Street Journal, was, quote, tossed like a toy to John Laurinaitis, unquote. Obviously, this has gotten a lot of people riled up. Obviously, this has gotten a lot of people talking in the wrestling world about not just McMahon's future, but the culture in pro wrestling. And Trevor, I'm going to give it to you in a second, but while these revelations, we were waiting for them, they're big news. They shouldn't be shocking to any of us.
No. I believe me and you both, when the news first broke, we said time and time again, and multiple times during that broadcast, that we're not shocked by any of this. And I also went on to say, I think you did too, wouldn't be shocked if more comes out, if more serious accusations come out. Like, unfortunately, I'm not surprised that this is being brought up. Like, I mean, we've had notions and ideas this entire time that Vince McMahon was a scumbag. Pardon me, but call a spade a spade.
You don't need to be pardoned for that.
I mean, we've known this for years. Like, I mean, if you heard anything about poor China, like what happened with that situation, what happened with Martha Hart's situation involving her husband, like, there are tens and thousands of situations I can bring up, and not all of them involve the sexual assault, but most of them involve him being an absolute asshat. And like, at this point, it's one of those things where you're not surprised about it, but you're even more disgusted once you find out exactly what it is. Like, I mean, it just amazes me that it has taken this long to bring it to light. Like, and this is just 16 years that they're talking about right now. Who knows how longer? You know, how who knows what else they haven't, like, what else they've swept under the rug, or what else the news reports don't know. Like, it's it's got to be more. Like, it's maddening. It is definitely upsetting. It's definitely maddening. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's one of those things. Even when you talk about it, it kind of ticks you off because of the fact that pro wrestling in a whole, and I'm not going to sit here and be all cliche and be like, oh, pro wrestling helped me as a kid, and I'm not going to get all emotional and say all that all that stuff, cliche stuff. But pro wrestling meant a lot to me growing up, and unfortunately, he was one of the promotions that I started watching, besides Smoky Mountain and other Southern promotions that he helped quietly, not even quietly, close. But, like, just to hear something like that and know something like that is going on, and something something that I love and talk about daily, it's become actually a part of my life for the past year and a couple months. It makes you mad. It really makes you mad. It pisses you off because, like, you stuff like this happens, right? Unfortunately, in any corporation, and if you want, even healthcare, lawyers,
Hollywood,
police, everything, Hollywood, anything that you can think of where a man is in power and a woman is trying to get to the top, it happens, unfortunately, and it shouldn't happen. But it's one of those things that you wish wouldn't happen in something that you love, and it does, and it's absolutely upsetting, and it breaks my heart.
There are a lot of people, unfortunately, who are defending Vince McMahon against these accusations. And again, I want to be clear. These are accusations that are being reported. He has not been legally convicted. I have to say that because for legal reasons. However, that does not mean that I cannot say that I think Vince McMahon is a disgusting and deplorable individual, in my opinion. Vince McMahon is accused of doing horrible things. All you needed to do is go back to that one accusation from 2005 where the woman alleged that Vince McMahon coerced her into that act, or into those acts. And Vince McMahon then when she declined, he not only demoted her, but ended up not renewing her contract. It's reasons like that are why you have these boundaries set between people at the top of this corporate structure, at the top of companies, and towards the bottom, or talent. That's why there has to be that separation, because of BS like this, right? And it's because the people at the top, the people with the power, a lot of times, and I'm not saying every single person with power does this, no. But when you have that much power over someone, it becomes it's very easy for you to abuse it. And that is the issue here. Vince McMahon undoubtedly abused his power and has abused his power. Again, this is someone who went out on the air and said the N-word very openly, brazenly, and for no reason. Even in the story, or there wasn't a story being told. It was just classless. It was zero context. This wasn't a TV show where they were trying to depict a racist, or anything like that, or what have you. I mean, it's not for me to decide what's right or not, but there was zero context where that was even remotely should have happened. Right? There's 1,000 more things. There's the fact that they were trying to sweep all of this stuff under the rug when Linda McMahon's 2010 campaign, her Senate campaign kicked off, her unsuccessful Senate campaign kicked off. There's reasons for this. It's because they want to hide their own ass when it's suitable for them, and they can't hide it anymore. And here's the biggest thing, Trevor, that gets to me. It really gets to me. In any other circumstance, knowing what we know now, even the allegations, knowing what we know now, there is no reasonable way that you can tell me that this person belongs behind the scenes at creative around the talent. There is no conceivable way where that should be the case.
Especially
Vince
not
McMahon
the
should
women talent.
exactly. Vince McMahon should be nowhere near the talent at all. This is someone who is alleged to have paid millions of dollars to in settlement money after being accused of doing awful things. There needs to be a full investigation. And he should not be allowed back in creative until there's investigation. Now, will WWE do that? No. Because he controls everything. He controls everything. His people are on the board. His people are running things. His daughter is still, again, Stephanie's not guilty necessarily of the sins of her father, but it's still a family business. And you could argue it's definitely outgrown that. But for this man to still be around talent, to still be able to be around talent, he's literally a danger. He is a danger to your talent. In any other company, in any other business, any other enterprise, this person would not and should not be allowed near his subordinates. That is the gosh darn truth, folks. And I don't care what you have to say. If you're blaming the women for taking the money, quote, if you're blaming the women for letting this happen, go kick rocks. Don't watch my show. Don't do any of that because you're dead wrong. Dead wrong. And they even like literally, and I'm someone who's like, I will have a conversation with just about anyone, Trevor. Even if you disagree with me about anything, but for you to be that callous, for anyone out there to be that callous about something like this, knowing what we know about Vince's history, especially that this man is not only accused of these past examples of deviancy and accusations, he has accusations dating back to the 80s. This is a dude who what was her name? I believe it was Rita Moreno, I believe was her name, former WWE referee.
So. Mm-hmm.
She accused Vince of doing terrible things to her, and nothing happened out of it. And if you're telling, and again, and anyone who's like, oh, it was an isolated incident, even if it was, right? We know it's not, but even if it was, you're telling me that somehow justifies it? You're telling me that justifies this man being able to flex his power backstage on performers, on talent, whose jobs are not guaranteed, who he can literally fire at his own whim. He can say, fire him. Like, literally, that's his gimmick both in and out of the ring. That is his gimmick. It's disgusting, man. This dude should not be anywhere near talent. No. He should not be anywhere near his employees.
Be the owner of it. He shouldn't be CEO of anything. Jack Diddley, honestly, at this point.
Wow,
he's single-handedly ruining WWE. I mean, like, you can't honestly sit here and say that the WWE isn't gonna take a hit because of this. If it doesn't, the fans are absolutely deplorable morons, and they shouldn't be fans of anything.
It's like it's and the thing that sucks about all of this, Trevor, the thing that sucks the most, nobody in that corporate structure has the guts to stand up to this guy. Nobody. Not a single one of them. Not a single one of them has the guts to stand up for the women who were wronged, for the people who have been abused in this company and in this structure. Because it's not just, here's the thing, these accusations, all these things, they also go beyond just the sexual assaults and sexual relationships or what have you, and that were talked about in that report. There's a long list of just crappy things that Vince McMahon and WWE have done to people. They're like they fired Dawn Marie. They fired Dawn Marie when she was pregnant. After she had been told that her job was secure. It is a culture. It is a culture. These are the same company that just fired over 100 employees or talent during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I mentioned earlier.
In the most,
China.
in the most profitable year of their existence, they fired over 100 people. And on top of that, there's the China thing, the way she exited everything in this company. It just seems the abuse that Mauro Ranallo allegedly went through during his time there. The abuse that Daniel Puder went through during his time there, the BS of Wrestlers Court that those, whatever you want to say about those stories, it is just absolutely disgusting. The culture that Vince McMahon has helped create, the culture that Vince McMahon has fostered, the culture that Vince McMahon is responsible for sucks. And it is abusive, it is putrid, and it is hopefully, fingers crossed, ushering in a better and new era when he's gone. There is no way this man deserves to be part of creative or head of a wrestling company right now. He should be nowhere near talent.
I'm sorry I stepped on
No, I'm sorry. I rambled there. It does make me mad.
We're both upset. That's all. We're both upset. That's all. And I understand completely. Like it's one of those situations that, unfortunately, we covered something not quite like this, but we've covered too many stories where wrestling talent, men and women, have gone through abuse by someone in the backstage, by someone of power, by trainers, by owners. Like we've covered too many of those stories, way too many of those stories, because there's way too many of them that exist. And this one might be the worst so far. Like you said, you mentioned the China thing. The fact that she wouldn't do a gimmick, and she thought was absolutely embarrassing and like demeaning, and she wouldn't do it, and that was part of the reason they ushered her out. Like some of the referees that they've ushered out, they abused some wrestlers and talent because of their sexual orientation. Like it's been too much abuse by this particular gentleman, and it needs to stop. It has to stop. And unfortunately, like you said, there's no one with enough cojones to get up and tell Vince, screw off. Like, stop doing this crap. I don't care if my job is in jeopardy. I'm going to say something. There aren't too many people. And one of the few is his own son, and he's not working in the company anymore. Too many yes men in WWE.
Exactly. I mean, this is also Vince McMahon, the same person who, before Nancy Argentina was murdered by Jimmy Superfly Snuka, talked her out of filing a complaint against him. The same person who Vince McMahon, who before when Nancy Argentina was murdered by Jimmy Superfly Snuka, there are allegations that he was involved in the cover-up. Again, allegations, but to be associated with so many slimy things, your hands got to be dirty at some point. It again makes me angry, makes me mad, makes you mad, makes a lot of people out there mad. Will it change a damn thing? Unfortunately, probably not. That's the cultural rot, the moral rot, the spiritual rot we're dealing with in our society. We still value the nostalgia that Vince McMahon brings, or whatever weird thing that people use to justify. Oh, he made my childhood. No, okay. To be honest,
those superstars made my childhood, not him.
Like someone else who's been in the news a lot lately, Chris Benoit. Like I always say, what do I always say? I come on here and I say, yeah, Chris Benoit, probably the reason I like pro wrestling. It's not the reason I stayed. It was almost the reason I stopped watching. And to be honest, like it at the end of the day, it's not about Ben. It's not about these individuals. It's about the longstanding entertainment that we're given, right? It has nothing to do. Like, I have very little attachment to Vince McMahon, the person. I don't know Vince. I don't know him. I owe him nothing. I owe him absolutely nothing.
So nothing at all.
Yeah, that's it.
Like you mentioned Benoit, like I was a huge Jimmy Snuka fan, huge. Like you could ask anybody in my family, especially mom, since she bought most of the Jimmy Snuka stuff I had. And when I found out about the murder, even talked about him earlier in the show. When I found out about the murder, like I changed tones. Like Snuka helped me watch pro wrestling. He did. He didn't keep me around, but he did start me, just like Benoit for you.
Yeah. I mean, again, guys, root for the people you want to, root for the wrestlers you want to, like whatever you want to do. Like you are entitled to whatever, right? I don't really care. My thing is, don't try to justify something that's clearly wrong in making try to like spin it to sound right, because you're just gonna sound stupid. You're just gonna sound stupid and ignorant, and it's gonna reflect terribly on you. Again, what do you owe to Vince McMahon at this point? Nothing. Vince McMahon didn't pay your bills. Vince McMahon didn't help you when you were struggling financially. Oh, did he give you a few laughs in the Attitude Era? Sure. What are those worth right now? Is it enough? Is it enough for us to go up to bat for Vince McMahon? No. I don't think so, at least. But
I definitely don't think so.
not at all. We'll obviously keep talking about this story as it unfolds, and I doubt that this is the end of it. Knowing
I'm pretty sure. No.
Yep. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Oh, that rating made me tired.
Those are contagious, sir.
Yeah, I love how your face perked up. You're like, I know he did not just yawn. Oh! You're just like about that. Oh. Real quickly, you want to talk about AEW Fighter Fest tomorrow?
Sure, man. Are we you want to read the chats real quick, or
I think you already read it, right? Vince McMahon surrounded by yes men. Yeah. They need to step up. Yeah. MGT also said, and to think Vince McMahon is not even selling the situation shows he could give two Fs about it. Yeah, he walked backstage. He walked backstage after he had his appearance on SmackDown. He walked backstage and said, F him. He didn't say F. He said something that rhymes with luck him. The luck him. Yeah, there you go. That's what he said. That's what he thinks about all these. Vince is obviously taking this as a joke, and it's clearly not. Quickly to the it's really contagious. Try to.
Kind of sound like Cowardly Lion over there.
It's just bro. I'm a cowardly lion, bro. Quickly, we got AEW Fighter Fest tomorrow night. Oh, gonna be a banger of a show. AEW Dynamite is always a banger of a show. Got Anna Jay versus Serena Deeb. That's gonna be an interesting matchup right there. Serena Deeb.
I think so.
Luchasaurus will be. Hey, okay, we haven't had a chance to talk about this though. Christian Cage in 20. I have a hot take for you, actually.
What have we called for this? We called for this how many times? How many times have we mentioned on this show that he is going to turn on Jungle Boy?
I mean, it was very obvious from the beginning, but I'm very happy in the way it happened. Because now Luchasaurus is his Tomko. He's a better Tomko than Tyson Tomko. Christian, they need to get like some like high flying SOB, they need to get their AJ Styles,
right.
The future, get Lee Johnson in there, Dante Martin. Let's get Dante Martin in there.
That's a good one, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Hot take here. Everyone's gonna crap on me on the internet. I don't care what you say. Christian Cage is in a whole different league when it comes to promos than Edge. He is by far a better promo than Edge.
No, I used to think Edge was better at promos especially early on. But I think with age, Christian's got much better as promos.
Bro, he was during Edge's prime, back in 2005 to 2006 to 2011. You like if you look at their promos from when Christian was in TNA to like when he returned and basically when Edge retired, ain't no question who was cutting the best promo. It was Christian Cage. Christian Cage was out there cutting ruthless promos on Impact Wrestling. Oh my God, he was out there just.
He got a lot better at that mic when he left WWE. Man, he got so much.
He was really good on the mic when he left WWE too. I mean, like here's the thing, like. Also, can we talk about who's a better in-ring wrestler, Christian Cage or Edge?
Technical wise, or just overall?
Who is the better technical wrestler?
Christian Cage.
Who is the best promo out of those two?
Especially now, Christian Cage. And I never thought I'd say that.
Who is the bigger star though?
Edge.
Why?
You know what? I don't know really understand why. Because like I think after a while, at some point, like, so Edge had the look, right, that you could sell a lot better. I think this is just my you know, my ideology on it.
My Lady Dracula. I loved Edge's theme back in the day. My Ringer, number 95. Yeah, that theme got him over, didn't it? I'm sorry. Continue.
Wasn't that who was that?
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie, yeah.
My Lady Dracula.
But no, I think honestly, I think that's probably why, though. Honestly, because like I mean, they also pushed Edge more too. They pushed Edge more than they pushed Christian. They felt like they couldn't push Christian as much as they pushed Edge, and I don't really know why. I mean, he stepped up to the plate in Impact, like especially when he first left WWE, or he stepped up to the plate in Impact. So I don't understand why they thought they couldn't push him.
The sole reason Christian Cage isn't as big a star as Edge is because Vince McMahon thought he was a joke. That was it. He just thought he was a funny man. That's all of it was. Christian had more charisma than Edge. Christian was better in the ring than Edge. Christian Cage, he never had the presence of Edge. I'll say that. Edge had a much better presence than Christian Cage, but he was also presented in a much better way for a longer time. Like, I'm just saying, man. I want Christian's coalition. Get Dante Martin in there. Let's get Dante Martin. Who better to put Christian Cage with than a young guy like Dante Martin? I want to see heel Dante Martin go out there, do Christian Cage's bidding, and like be the next.
I've been wanting to see a heel Dante Martin very soon. I actually love Dante Martin, and I think I've said that many times on the show. But I've been waiting for a heel Dante Martin. I really have. And can we get more of my man Ricky Starks on TV, please? Jesus.
I love Ricky Starks. Absolute Ricky Starks. I mean, that dude is
I need more.
I'm telling you, him and Hobbs, like that's the real question. That's a real bet that people need to start making. Out of those two, which one's going to be world champion first?
You know what? That to me, it's a toss-up, but I honestly am gonna say Ricky Starks. And the only reason I say Ricky Starks is because I feel like they're both marketable, but I feel like he has more of a presence. Like
his promos are great. Like that's not
he's great on
a knock on Will Hobbs. Yeah, that's not a knock on Will Hobbs. But
I love Will Hobbs, but like it's just
Ricky. So, he cut this promo last week on Dynamite. That he was so impassioned when he was talking about like what was he talking about? He was like I'm the best. We're the best. We're the best tag. I mean, he's just going off, and I'm just like, got some.
I'm glad they're letting him go though. That's what I'm happy about. I'm glad they're letting him go.
Oh my god! And
let him be him.
You remember the way he was like treated when he went to when he wrestled in New Orleans too?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that was a star. That was a star reaction. All that of Ricky Star
of anybody in the past like 6 or 7 months. The reaction that city gave their hometown boy when he walked through those curtains. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like Ricky Starks really needs to I'm sorry. I was thinking about Edge's promos. Anyway, talk Takeshka. You want to talk about Takeshka?
Sure.
So Takeshka is sort of wrestling mentioned him. Takeshka's gonna be wrestling. He wrestled
tonight,
Pac,
right?
on Dark he wrestled Pac for the AEW or the AEW All Atlantic Championship. Did not win, but I think they got a star in this kid too. Like, AEW is full of stars, aren't they?
I like him. I really do like him. I think he has a lot of potential, man. I like him. I like his look. I like his in-ring ability. I think they got another star for this, potential star.
Who's a jobber in AEW? Like who is like an actual like job? When your jobbers are like Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, you know you got a stacked roster.
I was about to say, like, Lee Moriarty is one of them too for a minute.
Yeah. Wheeler Yuta up until like 2 months ago was Dante Martin wasn't a jobber though. He got a lot of offense in. He would always.
He did.
They've actually protected Dante Martin pretty well because a lot of the reasons why he loses are like youthful exuberance reasons. Like, the kid's young, he'll learn not to. JR's out here. Oh, the kid's young, he's gonna learn not to do that when he's about to win the match. Go Boomer sooner.
I love how your country accent is the most redneck hick thing.
That's JR, damn it. That's what I do. It's JR. Boomer sooner.
I just feel like I need a bowl of chili and a cowboy hat every time you say.
All right, you better put some JR barbecue on that. Get some seasoning on there. That's good stuff. JR steak sauce. JRBarbecue.com, Excalibur. Boom shakaloo.
So you always ask me about like New Orleans isms. You want to hear the country shit? Oh, pardon my language, country thing.
Yes,
that,
of course I do.
My dad has said this many, many times, and I don't even think this is Louisianan, but
he's like, I don't even think this is English, by the
way. Like, especially if it's good food, right? You go, stuff so good, put that on top of your head, tongue beat your brains out, try to get to it.
Break that down. Hold on. Break that down for me one more time. Slowly.
Right. If you put the food on top of your head, your tongue is so good that your tongue will beat your brains out trying to get to it.
That's heat. That's straight heat.
That's a bar.
That's better than Ray Lewis's "You Could Hear a Rat Piss on Cotton." Like that. Like that is.
Yeah, and I've heard that one before too. And that's Southern as hell. But yeah, I've heard that one before too.
My God, man. My God, we got Southern wrestling. It's just like the more south you get, the less like it makes sense. It's just it's like I have like no, but I got a meter. But when it gets to Jim Cornette, it just starts making less sense. Like, yeah, you dumb son of a gun. I want an extra cheeseburger, extra onions, extra pickles, extra mayo, mother yucker. Like, it's amazing. Jim Cornette.
Surf wrestling, don't let this exterior confuse you. I'm a Southern boy. My family's from New Orleans. I spent a lot of time in New Orleans. We are kinfolk, my good brother.
bro, don't even get me started. Y'all want to talk about the South? That you like gives our wrestling's out here talking about all that's bro. I'm from the global South, bro. I'm from Pakistan, bro. I'm from bro. You want to talk about ghost pepper, bro? We eat stuff you haven't even heard of, bro.
Like, I know, and it's hot, spicy. Some of it.
Yeah, it was about spicy stuff you ain't even heard of, son. I'm out here. My tongue is burning right now. I haven't eaten in 6 hours. My tongue is burning. Not even phasing me. Never lost.
Never lost.
Big shout to LeVar Ball. We love you, sir. He's like, shout Louisiana, best gumbo ever. and they love AEW. They do love them AEW.
We do.
But you know what I like about the Louisiana arena they use too? I love the way like the cameras like the what's it called? The seats are set up like there's that big like canvas that they can put that AEW like banner at. You know, that's one of the things I like about these different arenas that AEW has or goes to. There's like each one of them has like a different kind of feel to it, a different type of specific setting.
Yeah,
like
I do like that. I definitely love that. Like
the LA one had its own vibe. Yeah.
Yeah,
the Baltimore one, they made it all bright, and I love that. And I'm so mad I had COVID.
I actually love that arena. Honestly, that Baltimore, I love that arena. It's fun. It's a fun place. But yeah, I love that they did that. You're absolutely right. I noticed that, like the different atmosphere, different. You know, I guess the different je ne sais quoi that the city has.
Baba de whoopee. I am the chiffon grenier. I will. Yeah, look at me. Look at me.
How are you trying to speak Italian and speaking Creole at the same time?
Hey, I'm Tony D. What do you want? I'm a multilingual. You know, I ain't sleeping with the fish.
You know what made me?
They murdered someone on NXT. I'm sorry. Did you see that? They murdered someone on NXT. Tony D'Angelo. There's this clip of Tony D'Angelo looking down, like on a bridge, like looking down on a river. And he's just like, hey, you're sleeping with the fishes now. You know, come on. And the guy was just released from NXT. I'm like, so they killed him. This is Ken. He was murdered.
He was murdered.
All right. I just want to be clear. He was murdered.
Just want to be clear. Just want everyone to know this.
And Tony D'Angelo. Yes. Keep going.
I recently started rewatching The Sopranos. And I'm like, yo, how did they get away with that? Like, you're supposed to be authentic Italian mob boss. And you say, hey, you got the gabagool.
They were wild, and they were wild in some of the stuff.
The gabagool and that. And it was, what?
There's a lot of stuff from The Sopranos, man.
I was like, what?
They were using some word I didn't even know what that was. I was like, what the hell is a guma? Like, what?
Right. I don't even know if that's candid in a time. I don't know.
I would not.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. They for all I am not well versed in that stuff. For all I know, they could have just made that up, like, and they would have gotten away. But Tony D'Angelo did murder some guy. You know, hey, we're Italian. That happens sometimes. Like, what? That is boy. That is a racist trope, my friend. That is a racist trope. Although that's like Tony D's entire gimmick. I mean, definitely not as racist though as Muhammad Hassan. That was so racist.
The only thing Tony right now is walking out there eating pasta.
The Iron Sheik. Oh, the Iron Sheik. That was another.
Yes.
Oh,
Sheiky baby.
Sheiky baby. Big shout to Sheiky baby. I gotta see what Sheik. Every time.
So he said something the other day. I forget what it was.
Anytime.
About Hulk Hogan again.
He always says something about Hulk Hogan. Guys, anytime you're having a bad day, do yourself a favor. Anytime, just randomly. Sometimes I'll do this. I would just go to Iron Sheik's Twitter and just read some of these tweets and read some of his tweets. They are like, and here's the thing: you got to put yourself. Sheik is saying these tweets. Like, whoever does the social media does an amazing job. Like, better job of doing social media than anyone. This is Sheik. Like, I genuinely believe this is Iron Sheik tweeting. It's not, but I genuinely believe. Like, it's like oh my god, like, first tweet right here. It's it's about time for everyone to go fuck themselves. I'm just like, oh my god, I love this. Whatever happened to the Dunkaroos? They deserve better, Bubba. What are you talking about? Oh my god!
Some of the things he says about Hulk Hogan just make me happy.
Oh my god! Like, no, Hulk Hogan will always be a no good son of a gun.
Yeah, that was the one I read the other day.
Going back to The Sopranos, like he's talking about Paulie from The Sopranos. He said, Tony, you were best. You were the. God, I'm so sorry. He says, Tony, you were the best walnuts on the earth. I love you forever, Bubba. I'm just like, that's so sweet, but so funny at the same time.
It's so hilarious.
Like, it's like, what percentage of you think Hulk Hogan is a jabroni? Wait, it was the poll: 100%, 1,000%, 10,000%, 1 Google percent. Like it's like 0 per day. Oh my god! Do yourself
Cheeky
a favor,
Baby is
people.
the greatest.
Get you some Cheeky Baby therapy.
Oh man!
Surf Wrestling
Iron
says,
Sheik is
Omer,
one of my favorite nicknames.
what are your opinions on Nikita Lyons right now? Nikita Lyons is a very talented wrestler who WWE is marketing in a very effective way. They are marketing her in a very effective way. Well, you're not going to catch me slipping here saying anything derogatory, my friend. I think Nikita Lyons is a great wrestler, and she's a very beautiful woman. Like, let's be abundantly clear. WWE is obviously leaning into that.
She is.
She's they're leaning into just, sex in general on NXT. Like that is not a surprise. But
it was a shame
no.
at first because I feel like they didn't really showcase her abilities at all.
Oh,
I feel like
bro,
she's
got a big boot. Like that big boot is.
That boot is ridiculous.
You in the face.
Dude, like, have you seen any of her workout videos on her Instagram? Dude, she is proficient with her hands.
Yeah.
Very
you would be watching. Yeah, you would. You have you ever seen any of her workout videos on Instagram? Yeah, you would watch her workout videos on Instagram.
She does fight videos. Spars.
Yeah, sure she does. Yeah, that's totally the videos that's totally why you watch.
I mean, that's what I'm into. I like MMA. I love UFC.
So do I. No, she did MMA or jiu-jitsu or she
one
definitely
of the two. I know she did amateur.
Let me be clear. She definitely did something here. She definitely did something. No, she's obviously trained. Like I forgot what it was exactly, but no, she's legit. Like she's a legit badass, and yeah, I mean, dude, she's a star. Like she's becoming a star in WWE. So
I just hope they market her right. I mean, I just hope they push her the right way. You know what I mean?
She gets on the main roster, and they're like, "We're gonna give you a mask."
Poor people.
Very rich people making these poor decisions, aren't they? Anyway, we literally, yeah. I was like, yeah. We somehow we got from Christian Cage,
and then Tony D'Angelo killing people
to murder, to Cheeky Baby, to the Nikita Lyons, whatever. A wonderful train of thought we're following here. Anyway, Claudio Castagnoli taking on Jake Hager, the realist American against the real American, and the AEW World. Oh, I forgot about this match. This match is happening. The AEW World Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Young Bucks defending in a triple or nothing match against Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Powerhouse Will Hobbs and the FTW World Champion Ricky Starks.
I forgot about this match.
I'm so glad it's happening though. Like, oh my God, you're telling me Swerve Strickland, Ricky Starks, and Matt Jackson, and then you got Keith Lee, you got Powerhouse Hobbs going out there, big meaty man slapping meat. Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah. As Sean Ross Sapp would say, sirloin beef, sons of guns.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You want to go? Let's run through some predictions real quick on this show. Anna Jay versus Serena Deeb.
You know what? I'm gonna say Serena Deeb.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Serena Deeb is good.
Anna Jay probably needs it though.
That Anna Jay Ty Conti feud got to come someday, man. Like Ty Conti just left the Dark Order. Anna Jay's got to redeem the Dark Order. There we go. She's the real leader of the Dark Order now. It ain't Johnny Hungy. It ain't Johnny Hungy. It ain't the Meat Man. It ain't Evil Uno. I mean, it might, Brody Lee Jr., obviously -1 is the leader, but in his stead, I vote Anna Jay. Join the darkorder.com. Luchasaurus will be in action. Yeah, Luchasaurus winning that. He's gonna beat whatever
Who's he
jobber.
fighting? Probably a jobber. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Cardona. He's gonna job him out. Claudio Castagnoli taking on Jake Hager in the realest American match. Please, okay. There's a please. Tony, listen to me. You love the people. For the pop, bring out Dutch Mantel. Just bring out Zeb Coulter, Dutch Mantel, whatever you want to call him. Bring him out to call the match. I want to see him in full mustachio, like his presence.
Mustache.
Fly him out. Have him say questionable things on the air, and have JR be like, "Damn it, will you shut the hell up, pal?" Like, have you listened to JR's podcast? Like, it's the funniest thing. Whenever he talks about Trump, it's the funniest thing. He's like, damn it, I tapped out on that son of a gun a long time ago. He's just dumb. He's just stupid. Just idiot.
Dumb. Just shitty.
He's like, apparently Jake Hager's dad always sends JR like all this Trump crap. And JR's just like, I tapped out. I said, stop sending me this shit. I'm done. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, JR, I love you too. Tony Khan is in the chat. Hello, Tony. Welcome. AEW
Hello,
CEO
Tony.
and President Tony Khan is in the chat. Hey, Tony, you owe me about $6 million for my estimation for all the ideas you've stolen from this podcast. So pay up. The link is in the chat. Be sure to pay up kindly. Surf Wrestling in the chat says, Omer, I want to see Jake Paul versus Jake Hager in AEW one day. Yeah, that ain't never happening. That is never happening. You know why?
I mean,
it's gonna be.
I want to see that because he'd be thrown around the ring, but that would never happen.
It's not going to be Jake Paul versus Jake Hager. It's going to be Jake Paul versus Chris Jericho. I'm still waiting for this Chris Jericho versus Mike Tyson match. Like, I really want to see it. I'm still one of those people who wants to see Ric Flair, or not Ric. No, I don't want to see Ric Flair. Chris Jericho versus Mike Tyson, because the image of like where they left off their feud was hilarious when Mike Tyson pushed Jericho, and Jericho is just sitting in the ring getting held back. He's like, Tyson! I loved it. It reminded me of Psycho Sid back in the day in WCW when Goldberg. I don't know. First of all, I'm just like the idea that Goldberg like crushed Psycho Sid's car like
Right.
into a metal piece with his bare hands is hilarious. And him finding this car and just screaming to the heavens, Goldberg, and like an evil cartoon villain is even funnier. If you have not seen it,
it's hilarious.
Google
watch that.
Sid, car, Goldberg. Only those 3 words. Money. All of it.
If you want to see something, anything even funnier, watch Psycho Sid do a promo. Oh. JR's been doing this thing where he's been throwing people under the bus for a long time, like in promos. JR's been doing that. Remember we talk about the what's it called, the Brian Pillman Jr. one, where he was just like, Brian Pillman Jr.'s like out here, he's like, this is the biggest match of my life, JR. JR just goes like, yeah, and you're gonna get your ass kicked. Like, no, he killed, he pushed over. It's a JR back in like 95. Back in 95, Sid is out there cutting a promo, and he messes up. He's like, I'm sorry, can we start again? JR's like, oh, no, we're on live TV, we're live, pal. He's just like, oh my God, it's just like so funny. How do you like them apples, so
McMahon?
Bad, man. He was so bad.
I love JR. I love Psycho Sid. I love it. Give me more. Bring Psycho.
Give me more.
Tony,
I need more of this.
Tony's in the chat telling me he doesn't owe me a dime. Tony,
he also told you if you wanted a job. He asked if you wanted a job too. So
it's Tony. Hit the Real Take Sports Talk at gmail.com email. We'll talk. But no, Tony, all your debt will be forgiven. The debt will be forgiven. If you bring Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, Sid Justice, whatever you want to call him, bring my boy Sid out on Dynamite and just give him the mic. No,
Just let him talk.
Tony,
Just
Tony,
let him
no,
talk. I don't want to
Tony,
see him
Tony.
in action.
Give me 20 minutes on Dynamite. Everyone's gonna hate this. 20 minutes on Dynamite.
Well, I need 15. That's all I need.
No. Sid Vicious, Scott Steiner. Give them each a mic. Let them go.
Yes.
Ratings, ratings, clicks, everything. That's what we need in pro wrestling. Here's the thing. I'm gonna book the stuff that Vince Russo booked, except better because everyone's in on the joke. No one's taking it seriously.
Exactly.
Come on, that's so funny. Liam said, "I'm here to show the world. Dolph Ziggler did turn babyface on Raw. Yes, MGT. I watched the ending segment of Raw. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I did. I watched it. I did watch it. I know it's a shock to you, MGT, because it was a shock to me too. But I watched
the ending segment. I didn't watch any of the rest of it. Well, I watched the Balor Mysterio match. That was a good match. Oh no! Spoiler warnings, lad. Whoops. Dolph Ziggler, yeah, but Dolph Ziggler returned, and that is a way to get. You know what? If all of this is like 10 years later, we finally got Ziggler over. They did it.
There you go.
I am all gung ho behind Dolph Ziggler right now. Who would have thought Dolph Ziggler versus Theory at SummerSlam? We're gonna draw, pal. We're gonna fill the National Coliseum. It's amazing. Surf Wrestling in the chat says Dolph Ziggler is okay, but I'm not surprised Cody Rhodes and Randy aren't there. I mean, yeah, they're both injured. Yeah. Randy Orton's probably gonna be out for another 8 to 10 months. Cody's probably gonna be out for at least through another 6 months, likely until the Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it makes sense that you push somebody, right? You gotta push somebody, right?
You imagine the former NXT champion Dolph Ziggler, come on now, fresh off that NXT title. Omar, are you ready to see Charlotte Flair take Liv Morgan's belt? Yeah, I mean, no, it's gonna be Ronda Rousey first one, but I know it's gonna be Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's gonna take the belt at SummerSlam. Liam in the chat says, "Bring back AJ to WWE and Big E from injury. Let's get the band back together." Oh, AJ Lee. Okay, I was like, AJ's already in WWE. No, yeah, AJ Lee. I mean, AJ Lee is, if AJ Lee ever wrestles again, which is a big if, I cannot imagine it's going to be for the company that nearly killed her husband, according to him. I doubt that that's going to be the case. So, I don't know. Never say never. Never say never. I don't know anything when it comes to pro wrestling. No one does. You know why? Because everything that we've been saying for years would never happen is happening. Big E does have a neck injury. Big shout out to Big E, by the way. He's been very positive on Twitter. If you ever are in the mood to get some positive vibes on Twitter, always check out Big E's Twitter page. Big E's awesome. Power of positivity ain't no work. Ain't no joke. It's a work. Or it's a shoot. Sorry. Yes, that. Anyway, what else do we have to talk about, Trevor? Oh yes, Tony Khan has been in our good friend Tony Khan was in the chat right now. He's been in the news lately. Tony Khan has been pew 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 shooting. He's been shooting a lot lately. So Tony Khan on the Masked Man show on the Ringers podcast was asked about a potential WWE, AEW Supershow, kind of like Forbidden Door, and he said, quote, "I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I would be open to talking about that type of thing. It's not crazy, but it's a bold prediction, sir." So, I don't care what anyone says. Obviously, the chances of this happening are very minimal, especially as long as Vince McMahon is in the company. But let a kid dream. Let a kid dream here. And I'm not going to lie here. Look, as things stand right now, here's all I'm saying. You could do this in a way where neither company necessarily takes a loss, quote unquote. It doesn't have to be necessarily AEW versus WWE. I think the best way or probably the way to do it would be do a lot of multiple people matches and get and no title defenses, get multiple people matches, building the card, and have it be kind of there's you'll never see these people team up ever again until their contracts are up in like a year. But you know, like Team Kevin Owens up with you know, like Christian Cage or Luchasaurus with I don't know who's a big sirloin beef. Otis and Luchasaurus. That's a team. Yeah, Otis and Luchasaurus. Yeah. That's what I want. No, but like I mean, Trevor, Tony Khan talked about it. The chance of it happening again are very, very, very small.
Very small.
But I do think down the line, especially if Vince McMahon is no longer there, WWE is a content creating company. WWE, for them, this would be a big piece of content to create. And they are now they have worked with Impact. Mickie James was in the Royal Rumble, presented with the Impact Wrestling title. They brought in people with Evolve. They brought in Evolve, though they bought Evolve, but like they've done work with Evolve. They've done work at other places as well, and they've done work with AEW. Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, and one other person were on Raw 2 weeks ago for the John Cena 20th anniversary celebration thing. Like they tape video packages and everything. Like so Tony Khan and there's something. It could happen. Not saying it will, but it could. Let a kid dream, Surf Wrestling. Stop being a party pooper. But I think you could have an integrated show, is what I'm saying. Like the crux of it to me would be like the main event being like a Bullet Club Civil War situation where you have like iterations of the Bullet Club against each other, like because that's like it makes up like the crux of like both companies, especially AEW. AEW was like built on like the Bullet Club led to AEW, and Bullet Club really led to a lot of the success, especially in the 2014-2018 era of WWE, the quote unquote new era. Remember when they were pushing that whole thing? The new era is here. Like WWE, like the Bullet Club really had a big role in that. But yeah, it's obviously not gonna happen, guys. Chill out. We're talking about it. We're talking about it. Shut up, guys. In the chat, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We love you.
But no, yeah, I mean,
but also like, come on, let's think about it. Give me your dream match. Like we're wrestling fans. We've all thought about it. Give me your fantasy dream matches, guys. Put them in the chat. Let's have some fun to end this show. Trevor, give me your fantasy dream match. What's your ultimate right now WWE AEW dream match? Go for it.
Sheesh. Ultimate AEW. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the women's division first. Becky Lynch versus Britt Baker.
Hell yeah! Imagine those promos.
Dude, those promos would be insane. Insane. What's one of yours? What's one of your fantasies?
Give me Bianca Belair. Give me Bianca Belair versus Britt Baker, or give me Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill.
Ooh,
bro, David
I wasn't
versus
even thinking
Goliath, the biggest babyface to ever babyface Bianca Belair,
but you know
vanquishing.
What? She might be giving Cargill up some size, some height in Cargill. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
She's giving up.
She ain't giving up much strength.
No, not like overall size. Like height, maybe a few inches, but overall strength and size.
Give me Dante Martin versus Ricochet. Just let him go out.
We're here, brother. I was just thinking that.
Give me Dante
we're here because I was just thinking that. That'd be a great one. That'd be a definite good one.
Ooh, yeah, Surf Wrestling in the chat just said it too. Surf Wrestling says Lee Moriarty versus Kofi.
That's
Kingston.
a good one.
That's a good one. Give me.
A good one.
Get this. Okay. Give me Vicky Guerrero versus Veer. Amazing. Amazing booking. That is took the wind right out of my sails right there. Yes, that is America and the world deserves this.
Give me Natalya and Nyla Rose.
Yeah, give me that. Yes, I want that. Give me Nyla Rose Actually, you know what? This is no. Forget WWE now. Just give me Nyla Rose or Jade Cargill. I want that. I want that.
We haven't seen that yet. I'm amazed we haven't seen that yet. I still want to see that. I've been wanting to see that since forever. I want to see that. Give me Ricky Starks versus Dolph Ziggler.
No, don't give me Ricky Starks versus Dolph Ziggler. Give me
Ricky Starks versus AJ Styles.
No, don't give me that either. Give me Ricky Starks. First of all, his name is Starks. Okay, it's not Starks. Starks. Ricky, gotta say it like Taz says it. Ricky Starks.
You gotta say it like Taz. I'm sorry. Starks.
Ricky Starks. Let's do Ricky Starks versus Finn Balor. Oh yeah,
that's a good one too. That's a better one than one. Yeah, that's a good one. Very good one, actually.
Okay, Gunther McGillivray over there. All right, give me Gunther. Sorry, Walter. Walter McGillivray. That will forever be the best thing that Cody Rhodes has ever said in a promo. All the great things he said in a promo, like that will Gunther McGillivray will forever be the greatest thing he's ever said in a promo. No, but give me Walter versus the biggest brick house in AEW, powerhouse Will Hobbs. I want that.
You know what? I think that would. They would just slug it out. That'd be a fun one. That would definitely
Walter
be a fun
versus
one.
Bryan Danielson. Walter versus everyone. Walter v everyone. Okay.
Everyone. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Walter v everyone. Bryan v everyone. Okay, we got that. Okay, Sans Happy Corbin. No Happy Corbin involved.
No.
Oh, Swerve
MJF
Strickland.
versus. Oh yeah, Swerve. Almost forgot about Swerve.
Swerve. I love Swerve.
I do too.
Man, we just like laid out a lot. You know the funny thing is Charlotte was not in any of our fantasy booking right there.
Neither was Ronda, actually.
Dude, give me Riho versus Cora Jade. Give me Riho versus the roster. Don't give me Charlotte Flair though. No, I don't. No, that's being unfair. I actually Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair is Randy Orton. Like she is the in the way that I view Charlotte Flair, she's like the modern day Randy Orton. I just it's weird because she's great and I know she's great and it's easy. It's fair, she makes it look effortless. But I just don't care. It's the same thing with Randy Orton. Exactly. Makes it look effortless. He makes it look easy. He's great, and I know it, and I can't.
But I just don't care.
I just don't care. Give him a mic, and I turn off whoever. I remember I ranted about this on our old show. Whose idea it was to start off Raw with a 20-minute promo, Randy Orton promo.
Yeah, that was
fired.
So annoying.
Deserves to be fired. Morgan versus Statlander. That's a Statlander versus Statlander versus Charlotte Flair could be a good match.
That could be good one too. I was also thinking, like I said, I was thinking Ripley versus Statlander. Jay Cargill versus Ripley.
Brock versus Mox. Liam just laid out the gauntlet right there. Brock versus
that's
not Dean Ambrose.
Threw it out there.
Mox. Brock versus Mox. I'm ooh, Mox versus Seth Rollins. Ooh, DQ. Hell in a Cell.
Now MGT was a Surf. It was Surf that mentioned that matchup. That honestly, to me, he would have to put up or shut up. And this will prove to me if he has any talent at all. Swerve versus Austin Theory. That to me, it could be a great match, but he has to prove to me he has talent.
Swerve.
I would like to see.
I understand. I would see Swerve. I understand. Swerve has a lot to prove, right? I understand that. and well, I think Austin Theory can carry him through a great match.
Austin Theory can barely.
I can't even say it with a straight face. I can't even say it with a straight face. No,
that's what I'm saying. I honestly would love to see that match because Austin Theory would have to put up or shut up. I honestly think it would prove to me if he can actually wrestle or not. I think it'd be good to watch.
Okay, Surf Wrestling says Raquel versus Nyla Rose. Raquel versus Statlander.
That's
Give me
another
that.
good match. That's a good
Raquel
match.
versus Jade Cargill. Tony,
Yeah, that's a good
still in
one
the
too.
chat. Make it happen. Let's go. We're just gonna
That's a good one too.
whoop each other's ass. I love it. I
Another
love
good
wrestling.
one. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, you made MGT mad. He says Austin Theory can carry a match.
No, you said it. I didn't say it. Well, I also said he can carry
No.
Booker
You
School.
said it. I said that. I said Austin Theory will carry Swerve. No, you won't. Swerve's carrying
But
that
I
match.
did say something good about him in GT. I said I would like to see it because it would prove to me whether he has some talent. He has to put up or shut up.
I don't care what anyone says. Grayson Waller is still a better Austin Theory than Austin Theory. Like Grayson Waller is
I
just
don't
better.
disagree with that.
Ooh,
Darby Allin
Asuka versus Nakamura.
Darby Allin versus Finn Balor. He's in his own little world over there.
I'm Nakamura, bro.
I know. That's what's in your own little
I love it, bro. Bro. I was like the one person who loved Nakamura's heel theme.
I did. I liked it too. I thought it was
Like
funny.
I love that.
It was entertaining. Oh, that's a
I
good
love
one,
that.
Ibby. That's a very
Ibby B.
good one. Hangman versus Rollins.
Oh my god. No. Okay, forget this. Now we're going to New Japan. I want to see that Rollins versus Will Ospreay match. Will Ospreay
I've been
just
wanting to see that for years.
man, remember how much crap Rollins got for that?
But he did. That was so funny.
Because he called
You're
me.
right,
Called
sir.
me.
Balor versus Darby is definitely a dream match. That's a hell of a dream match.
Oh man, we have talked about a lot of dream matches here, haven't we? We got oh my god. Now see, look, the chat's having fun on a Tuesday night. Now watching NXT, right, Michael?
Bucks versus Usos.
Yeah, so we got Hardy Boys versus Usos, refed by Riddle, a battle of the bro match. I mean, Hardy Boys ain't happening anytime soon. Hardy Boys ain't happening anytime soon, unfortunately. We got the Young Bucks versus the Usos, Rollins v Ospreay, but it's just them sitting across the ring and tweeting at each other. The more likes, the more wins. I promise you, Will Ospreay will actually win that because
Yeah, I think so. Because it's gonna be half 50% of Seth Rollins going.
it's so weird. Ever since Rollins did that, I feel like in at least like my view, I've never been able to see him in like a face light like after that. Like he was just like healed me. I was like,
because they tried to kind of make him a face against Reigns, and it didn't work too well.
oh, remember when they tried to babyface him with the Fiend?
Oh,
he
yeah.
got DQ'd now in the South. Who books this crap? That is actually, you know what? We're gonna end with what is one wrestling moment, Trevor, that just made you viscerally angry? That just made you like just angry. Like you
was
like
it
you
a
were
bad
just
spot, or was it just something?
a plan like a match or a finish, like a planned thing in wrestling that just made you angry. Like you were just like, oh my god.
Okay. Damn. Got me thinking now. Whew. Well, of course, I think everyone's viscerally mad about the Texas Death Match. That
I laughed. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. I laughed when that happened.
laughed at that. I wasn't really mad. I really just laughed at that. That was really funny.
Also, Liam, you joke, but Satnam Singh versus Shanky, sell out Madison Square Garden. I'm telling you, in India.
Satnam Singh and Shaky, that actually might be a good match.
It would sell out Madison Square Garden in India.
He said in India.
Although I will say Satnam Singh versus Veer, I would actually like to see that match.
I want to see them do more with Veer, actually.
I want to see Veer versus Will Hobbs, actually. Yeah, give me Veer versus Will Hobbs.
I know. It does it. It happens.
Wrestling
quite
moment
often.
that made you viscerally angry. Go.
When Finn Balor started jobbing to people.
I have so many jokes. You mean when he signed with WWE?
There you go. When he started like, I mean, I know that's vague because
No,
that's
I'm
more than
joking.
just one moment, but that dude, like, that made me physically ill just watching him, like, over, you know, in indie spots and other promotions, and then watch him just job out to Austin Theory. Like, and this has nothing to do with anything else. This is just facts. There is no reason in hell that Finn Balor should ever job to anybody, and let alone Austin Theory. And even his title match against Brock Lesnar was a joke.
So there are a few moments for me. Yeah, there was an era where I was just salty at WWE. Here's the thing, WWE. I've gone in cycles with WWE as being a fan. Like, again, my most angry moment is a WWE moment. Make no jokes about it. So I've gone in cycles with WWE as far as whether or not I like them. There was a period. So here's the thing. There was a period from like 2008, starting in 2000. Actually, you know what it was. It was Benoit. It was when the Benoit tragedy happened until like 2011. I kind of like was really out of wrestling. Like, I was in it, but I wasn't paying attention. Like, I don't know. Like that really, like again, we talked about it earlier. Like that, it made a lot of people just kind of tune out and was like, oof, I'm done, because it was a lot. Yep. But like, so there was that, but then like there was that that resurgence that CM Punk and Bryan Danielson really helped lead in WWE that lasted from 2011, and it like really picked up 2013, 2014. And there was like a little bit of a lull when they were doing their whole Reigns thing. The Royal Rumble with Reigns pissed me off pretty badly. Everything they did with Bryan Danielson, like leading up to, like, anyone who says like all of that was part of the plan, everyone, come on, we're not. It's no joke. The plan was for him to wrestle Sheamus again. So like that made me angry. So here's the thing, I have two moments recently that just viscerally made me angry. One was Austin Theory, and you can see. By the way, you guys can see my reaction to this on the live stream reaction. You can see my reaction to Austin Theory winning. I was not happy. That made me like angry. When he won Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I was literally, I was speechless. You ask anyone in the chat right now, I was speechless when that happened. But the one I go back to, Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns, Extreme Rules last year. The ropes just broke. The lights turned red. Finn's music played. He started kicking ass, and then the ropes broke, and he lost. He jobbed. I was just like, it was incredulous, absolutely incredulous. That made me angry. My God.
I mean, another one you can probably mention was Seth Rollins versus The Fiend in the cage. That
was, you know what? Actually, no, that definitely made me more angry. Yeah, no, that was like that was like a done with WWE moment for me. I was like, oh wow. Yeah, that was actually worse than the Balor thing. Yeah.
Where the Brownable Snowman went up against and jobbed to Brock Lesnar. That one pissed me off too. Braun Strowman. That one. Yeah, that was
Oh, Braun Strowman, tag team champion with Nicholas. Oh, that was the big payoff. That was it. That was all we got from Braun. Nicholas.
And then he won a championship, but that felt cheated. It didn't feel right.
He gave it up the next night because Nicholas had school.
He did give it. He did. But then
anyway,
he actually did win the world belt. That was just abysmal.
Surf Wrestling in the chat says, I hate how they did the demon against Reigns. Most everyone does. We also have some more fantasy booking here in the chat. We have ABB saying Ronda versus Becky is not happening one-on-one at Wrestle or not happening. Oh, Yeah, that actually made me. Yeah, that was actually Charlotte Flair getting added to the main event of WrestleMania 35 was pretty. It wasn't like angry, like
Yeah.
oh my god, like, but it was just like oh my. That was like one of the most annoyed I've been because I was like, you don't need it. You actually do not need.
You don't need Charlotte right now. You really don't.
Like this match was. It was the only thing that Charlotte added to that match, and this is not a knock on Charlotte Flair. But that match did not need her, right? Like it's like saying like could you have had at WrestleMania X7 The Rock versus Steve Austin versus The Undertaker? You could have. But that match was Rock versus Steve Austin. It wasn't Rock versus Austin versus Undertaker. Like they just added Charlotte Flair to it.
You know what I mean?
Or it wouldn't have needed Undertaker, right? So like so yeah, that was actually pretty ABB, I agree, that was pretty bad. You also have ABB saying it'll happen next year at Mania, but will it not? Will not have the same momentum back when the man had just won the Rumble and was the biggest star in wrestling, bar none. Still bums me out. Yeah. You ain't the only one, man. They really dropped the... That's the thing about WWE. With everything that's done, they gotta get their... I gotta touch it. Like, you know, like, just, I gotta like, get me. I own this. Me. Yep. I did this. Like, it's always weird with them. Goldberg versus Wardlow. Oh my god. Goldberg be like, I gotta win for the children. For the children. I'm a superhero.
The children need to know.
The children need to know that Grandpa Goldberg is over. Could you imagine Goldberg unmasks himself? It's just Hogan. Oh, brother, I couldn't. Brother, it doesn't work for me, brother. Oh my god. Oh my god. Could you imagine it's Hogan versus Flair? They still haven't announced Flair's last match. It's happening in like 2 weeks, and we don't know who it is.
Oh, did you see Booker T get in the ring for the first time in a long time?
No, but I did hear Booker T like just being being an idiot on his podcast. Yeah. Well, you know, AEW, you know, they might be in this business, but Tony Khan doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and they're just a bunch of indie marks.
Yeah, he did say
5 times, 6 times actually. Well, that's like my wrestling. That's like the one wrestling thing I wish would have happened. Booker T coming out and just saying the 6th time world champion, because he was a 6-time world champion.
He was
5 times. Yeah, because he won the. Remember, King Booker had that reign. Booker. Anyways, like, but that is only Booker T's second best gimmick.
What was your favorite from that?
African King Booker in TNA was my favorite.
Yes.
African King Booker with the accent, doing a beatdown in the ring with a mic, like going like yes, oh yes, respect. It was amazing. It was amazing.
You know who I used to love? Did that back? Used to when he wrestled on Saturday Superstars. Jerry Lawler used to do that gimmick. He would get in that ring, have a mic in his hand, and he would like commentate the entire match while he's beating his kids behind.
I thought you were talking about the African accent gimmick, and I was like, Jerry Lawler, he had an African accent.
He better not.
No. You got ABB. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Good.
ABB in the chat says 5-on-5 elimination match. Who are your teams? I'd say Kenny, Hangman, Bucks, Eddie for AEW, as they represent AEW better than Bryan Danielson and Punk. Yeah, I agree with that. I think like you have to
too.
I think like no, but see, here's the thing. I think you have to kind of integrate it though, because I think like that's the best way to kind of like do it with both companies. Like I would love to see a thing where it's like where it's kind of like, you remember how like the old Blood and Guts was supposed, like the first Blood and Guts was supposed to be the Elite versus Jericho's Inner Circle. I would kind of like to see them do a little bit of something with that, like integrate the WWE and AEW stuff. Like on one side you would have Kenny, the Bucks, Hangman and Cody, and on the other side you have Jericho. You would have you can put in Sammy Guevara, sure. You'd have Jericho, Guevara, Kevin Owens. Who else is Jericho teamed with over there? You could put in AJ Styles. I don't care. Put in AJ Styles and Finn Balor, so you got the little Bullet Club thing, and you can do your That would be fun. You integrate the Bullet Club. You have Cody being the Dissension, and then you know what? In the end, you know what I want. I want. In whatever happens in this, we can go through our list or whatever. The main event should be Bullet Club heavy. It should be a 5-on-5 tag match, like ABB mentioned or whatever.
Right.
The ending of the match, after it's over, should be everyone who's ever been a part of the Bullet Club just beating down all the non-Bullet Club members.
That would be funny. That would be fun.
At that point, it's no question. Bullet Club bigger than NWO. Book it WWE and AEW. Cement yourselves. We got ABB saying his WWE team would be Reigns, Usos, Rollins, Cody. ABB says, remember Y2AJ? That was good too. Hey man, Y2AJ was a thing.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Jericho had a lot of tag teams.
Jericho's done a lot. Jericho's had a lot of gimmicks. Here's the thing. Jericho in the Jericho's a great innovator. He is reinvented the Wizard, Chris Jericho. Amazing.
He's still a wizard. I'm sorry.
I wish it was Wednesday night just so I could see Chris Jericho cut a promo about how he's a wizard. MGT in the chat says, hey, you guys should watch Cultaholic's video about fantasy booking in WWE versus AEW. Oh. I would go check it out. Oh my God. You want to start beef? Adam Pacitti doesn't... I don't know. What does he need done? It's hello, Bellens. Adam Pacitti doesn't shave his armpits. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. That was my... That was my impression of Adam Pacitti. It was not great. Although I can do a great Jack. I can do a great Jack from Cultaholic. Let's see. Do I have a beanie laying around here?
Are we starting to beef now?
No, it's not beef. I'm just doing impressions. Half of the podcast anyway. It's just
true.
Yeah. So John Cena is gonna go up against. Yeah. Right. I don't know. It's. Yeah, I'm really stressed. That's basically all Jack does on the Cultaholic.
Yeah, it is. I love Jack.
I love Jack. No, I'll love the Cultaholic. They are part of the reason we do this. We love that. I mean, it's better than it's better than Vince Russo's wrestling channel. It's bro, look, I called Vince and I told him push off. That I could believe. Vince Russo calling Vince and saying to push Austin Theory, and that is the reason. I could believe that. I could very well believe that.
I can honestly believe that, yeah. Definitely.
Hey, guys, we're heading down the home stretch here. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, get your last few questions, chats in the questions in the chat. There we go. ABB in the chat says, I'd say my favorite of his heel characters he had going against HBK in 2008. Oh, 2008 was that heel run with Jericho was.
Yeah,
that was when he.
Was that when he punched Rebecca?
Yeah. Shawn Michaels wanted to beat him up backstage, and Rebecca's like, I just the idea of Rebecca Hickenbottom being backstage, being like, come on, Jericho, you could have hit me harder. Think of the heat. I'm just like, what?
When I heard that, I was like, wow.
Think of the heat. Amazing. Yeah. Trevor, what are you watching?
You know what? This week has been mostly Sopranos and other stuff. I haven't really watched a lot of wrestling this week.
Yeah, it's because your favorite jobber is in wrestling. That's why, right?
I mean, my favorite wrestler. You mean the great?
Oh, sorry, your favorite wrestler. Sorry, I apologize. Your favorite wrestler who just happens to be a jabroni jobber.
The great Matt Cardona. No, he's not wrestling. No, but I've been I've been doing other stuff.
The greatest jabroni jobber of all time.
I mean, wouldn't that be? I don't know what. The Brooklyn Brawler.
No. Compared to Matt Cardona,
that wouldn't be Matt Cardona.
Put the belt on Brawler. Put the belt on Brawler. Put all the belts on Brawler.
Brawler could barely wrestle. Brawler was awful.
Yeah, he could barely wrestle. Matt Cardona can't.
Matt Cardona can wrestle circles. Well, first off, it don't take much ability to wrestle circles around Brooklyn Brawler. Hell, Duke the Dumpster Grossi can out wrestle Brooklyn Brawler.
and a literal dumpster could out wrestle Matt Cardona. This ain't no joke. I don't know why you're laughing. Matt Cardona sucks.
I'm laughing because it's funny. It's quite funny. Because you just pushed Joey Janela last week. And then you're talking
Joey Janela? Joey Janela. My name is George Janela. I am the pig from Sing. Hello. Guten Tag.
Good dog.
Guten Tag. My name is Gunta too. Okay. You'll get the name over if that's what you do. If WWE has a segment with Walter and Gunta from Sing, money, you've won me over. Okay.
Money, you got me.
Hello, I can dance and sing. We're gonna sing our footies off. I love that.
Oh god.
ABB has a question that we kind of answered last week. Question: what has been your favorite match of the year so far? What is one particular match you're hoping for the rest of the year? Oh, that's a good one. So I said last week. I think that what did I say last week? What was my favorite match last week? I gotta go back to the archives and look. So what did I say? I don't even remember what I said. It was probably something of it was probably something along the lines of either the Briscoes versus the
was it FTR or
it was either Briscoes FTR or Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. I think it might have been Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll look it up at EBB and tell you if you're wrong or if I'm wrong next week. But I think that's what I had. I mean, it was something along the lines of that.
Favorite match we both agreed on.
My favorite match. Favorite match. No. It was Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay. Yeah.
Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay. No, but that's what it was. I figured it out. And one match that I'm hoping for this year. One match. Okay, this is I understand neither wrestlers are cleared right now, so this might be a bit of a pipe dream for later this year, but Omega Bryan 2. Give me Omega Bryan 2. Give it its own pay-per-view. Make it a 3-hour match. Let's go. Send it. Full send. Send it harder than anything in pro wrestling's ever been sent before. Give me 3 hours. Omega Bryan. That's the match. A 3-hour Iron Man match. Book it, Tony Khan.
Can I get Mox versus Ospreay too? Can I get that again? Can I get another round of those two going at it? That'd be a great match to see.
Oh, so many great matches, guys. MGT says, Trev, just like you defend Matt Cardona from Omer, I defend Theory from you.
This is true.
I mean, look, hey,
we love you, MGT.
I'll give Theory one thing. He is definitely a better wrestler than Matt Cardona, no question. Better promo, better wrestler, more charisma. He's a better social media icon than Matt Cardona is.
First off, who cares about social media? Secondly,
apparently Matt Cardona doesn't. The internet. He's the internet champion. It's the only championship. He has to create a belt in every company to get over.
He has one belt. Leave the man alone. Leave the man alone. He has one belt.
What's the most prestigious belt he's won?
I'm gonna say it, and you're not gonna.
What's the most prestigious belt he's won? Tell me, what's the most prestigious belt?
The 10 pounds of gold. is the most
10 pounds
prestigious
of
belt
crap.
he's won.
Yeah, he's winning 10 pounds of crap.
10 pounds of gold
all right?
is the
big-
most prestigious belt he's won.
The big boo boo belt. He's got the big boo boo in the middle of it. The big, oh my god, I hurt my head, and oh my god, the big
That is the
boo-boo.
most prestigious belt he has won. What's the most prestigious belt Theory has won? Nothing.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. That's a belt, bro. That's
That's not even a belt.
That's a strap. He's a rocket ship, bro. He won Money in the Bank. What do you mean? It just happened.
That's
Won
hilarious.
got the egg from Vince McMahon. This is way more gold
That's
than Matt
true, he did.
Cardona's ever held. Also, that GCW title ain't gold, bro. That's like
It's like
that's
it's like
stainless
aluminum.
steel, bro. Nah, that's stainless. Yeah, I'm about to say that's aluminum. You got some tin.
It's aluminum. Hey, but you can definitely wrap your sandwich in it. So fuck it. Oh shit.
That's basically what all GCW wrestlers do. There. Here, let me wrap my sandwich in it. This show's going off the rails once again. Guys,
right,
Trevor, parting thoughts for the people.
Hey guys, this is the longest show we've done in a while, and had a ball actually. Had a lot of fun. Don't let a lot of the stuff going on in pro wrestling deter you from enjoying pro wrestling, or even deter you just from having a good time and everything else. I mean, unfortunately, scumbags are in every facts of life, and everything you love and everything you want to do. Just keep faith, enjoy the product, and have a good week.
Keep faith, enjoy the product, and fudge Matt Cardona. We'll see you next week. Oh, actually, we won't. We won't see you next week. By the way, we will not be here next week because one of us is traveling for work, and the other one will likely be fishing. Guess which one that is. Find out in a few weeks. We'll have some other videos up though. Guys, we'll see you. Peace.